Hi everyone. One of the living history demonstrations that we do at ACOP Birthplace is open hearth cooking. We frequently use recipes from either the Virginia Housewife Cookbook or the Carolina Housewife Cookbook. Both of these books were published in the 1800s and are available on the internet if you'd like to look at them. Oftentimes when using recipes from a 19th century cookbook, some adjustments have to be made. For example, dry ingredients are usually measured by weight instead of teaspoons and tablespoons and cups like we're used to today. Also, sometimes the recipes will just say put a little of this or a dab of butter, and so there are no exact measurements, so you have to kind of use your best judgment in those situations. Also, with some recipes that call for eggs, a recipe might call for 10 eggs, but if we make it today, you would really need to maybe use 7 eggs, just simply because eggs are bigger today than they were in the 19th century. Today, I am making a cheese pudding, which is a recipe that can be found in the Carolina Housewife. It's a very simple recipe. It's delicious. We've made it before, and it can be used as a side dish. The first ingredient for the cheese pudding is some flour, so we're going to put flour in there. Okay. And the next ingredient in the recipe is grated cheese, so we're going to add our grated cheese. The third ingredient it calls for are egg yolks lightly beaten, so we're going to lightly beat our egg yolks here. We're going to add them in here. Now, we also need to add a little salt and a little pepper to taste. And we are going to mix all that together, the flour and the egg yolks and the cheese. And now we're going to add the milk. And we're going to mix it in there as well. Another thing you need to keep in mind if you try recipes from 19th century cookbooks is the type of, like, maybe flour you use. Like, they would not have had self-rising flour, so all-purpose flour works better. And nowadays you go to the store, you get milk, you have 1% milk, 2% milk, whole milk. In the 1900s they would not have had those varieties of milk. And most likely whole milk would come as close to the milk that they had as you could get. Now that our ingredients are all mixed together, the next step is going to be to take it over to the stove and let it heat up just enough that the cheese melts. And you have to be careful and not burn the ingredients in the pan. Okay, next the recipe says to add a lump of butter and a little more milk. So we're going to add some butter and we're going to add some. So there's our lump of butter going in. You see that? We dump that in there. And we're going to add some milk. And we're going to stir that in and let it heat for a little bit longer. The next step in making the cheese pudding is to remove from the heat, which we've done, and let it cool. Alright, this is what the cheese pudding looks like in the pie pan. And now we're going to take it and put it in the oven and let it cook for about 20 minutes or so. In the oven it went. Now we wait. Here is our finished product, the cheese pudding.